Hi guys, Luke here and welcome to another FIFA 20 League on a Player of the Month SBC Thiago Silva. This card looks absolutely fantastic. I was able to complete his SBC for in the region of 50,000 coins, and in the 4 games that I played him, he didn't score me any goals or get me any assists, and he does have a 3 stoic thoughts as well as 2-star skill moves. Moving along into his in-game stats, his main standout stats are going to be his 85 short passing, his 91 stand tackle, as well as his 91 defensive awareness, and finally his 89 composure. And it did also have the sentinel chemistry style applied to this Thiago Silva card. Just a 1 segment of this SBC, so you do not get any packs in return, but according to Potm, the most you can pay for this SBC is 80,000 coins. That's if you've already got nothing of use in the club to go into towards this SBC. Obviously, if you've got like an inform, a few 85 rated cards, that will lower the cost of this SBC quite nicely, like it did for me. For example, I had like 2 85s and the inform as well, so that lowered it to around about 50,000 coins, which is pretty awesome. And I think he's a fantastic card. I think he's very, very solid. I look at his in-game stats, and he looks like decent on the face of it, but when you look at his in-game stats, he looks even better. Like his dribbling and passing are really, really good for a centre-back. His defending is immaculate. His physical's pretty solid as well. For me, the only 2 slight areas for concern are 6 foot isn't the best height, and also he's not the quickest at the same time. While 66 pace isn't the worst, for me, pace does kind of matter to centre-backs a lot more than previous FIFAs, so 66 pace obviously isn't the best, but you know, you could throw a shadow chemistry style onto that, or another defensive chem style that increases his pace if you wanted to as well. I just went with the sentinel chem style because it didn't have like any other chem styles that actually gave players a boost in pace, so I just went with the sentinel just to max out his defending and his physical. And I have to say, I thought he was very solid, and what I also will say is, I don't think his height is that much of a problem because of how good his jumping and heading accuracy is. For example, the sentinel chemistry style takes his heading accuracy to 93. It also takes his jumping up to 99. So whilst he's only 6 foot in height, because of how good his jumping and heading accuracy is, you know, height isn't that much of an issue for Thiago Silva. And also pace-wise, you know, he's not the quickest, but he doesn't feel that slow at the same time. And it's because of how good his dribbling stats are for a centre-back. You know, it's very rare that you see defenders at this stage of FIFA with 76 overall dribbling and like 83 ball control. His agility and balance is good for a centre-back as well. Actually makes him feel a little bit more quicker than, you know, what the 66 pace says it does. So in my opinion as well, pace isn't that much of an issue. He's not like the most quickest player, you know, he's not like a Marcel Desailly or anything, but he's not slow at the same time, just so you guys are kind of aware of that. But getting into his main pros, for me, his first one is going to be his defending, and for a card still relatively early on in the FIFA 20-year life cycle, a sentinel chemistry style takes his defensive awareness, his stand tackle, his slide tackle all the way up to 99. It takes his heading accuracy, as I mentioned before, up to 93, and it takes his interceptions up to 98. So pretty much all of his defensive stats are nearly maxed out at 99, which is absolutely insane. And he's rock solid at the back, absolutely. He made so many tackles for me. I was playing decent FIFA. I wasn't playing the worst. I wasn't playing the best at the same time. But he is just such a solid defender. He just commands that defensive area. He was absolutely brilliant. The amount of tackles he'd make per game was just insane, and how consistent he was with them. Would rarely miss time them or anything. It was just really, really good. So tackling wise, big fan of that. And also, I'm a massive fan of his strength. His strength is fantastic. 84 strength and 78 aggression. The sentinel chemistry style takes his aggression all the way up to 88, and it takes his strength up to 94. He can bully players off the ball very, very easily. He is really, really strong at being able to do that. You'll see it in the clips as well, how he just kind of barges players and just kind of muscles them off the ball completely and just regains possession. And then he's got that good passing as well, which leads on to our final prime. He's got that good passing to be able to play the ball out of danger. He's got 85 short passing and 85 long passing, which is genuinely fantastic for a centre-back, as well as 74 vision as well, which isn't too bad either. And for me, as the kind of game cycle comes, you know, further on and stuff, and obviously, you know, better players are released into the game, having cards that, just like a Thiago Silva, though, there's not going to be many centre-backs for a long time that are going to have the short passing stat that this Thiago Silva has got. You know, he's honestly a top card. You know, you look at some of the icon sub cards you can go for, this is a better card than Alessandro Nesta. Don't get me wrong, Alessandro Nesta, I'm a big fan of him. I love like his long hair and stuff like that, and the fact that he's like an Italian icon's pretty cool, but in my opinion, he is better than Alessandro Nesta. Obviously, he costs coins and can't link to everyone, but you'd be better, in my opinion, getting someone like this Thiago Silva SBC card and then racking up more tokens to get the better icon swaps, such as, like, for example, as well, I even think this card is probably nearly, in fact, I will say, he's probably better than, like, the 85 Rio Ferdinand, for example, as well. He's a top centre-back that isn't the easy to link into a team, but he's not hard at the same time. You know, for example, maybe if you've already got that Roberto Carlos icon foot swap card, there's a nice slot green link link to him right there, for example. Maybe you've got Guardiola, it's a nice little orange link there as well. And obviously there's a lot of good players from PSG and Brazil as well that you can fit him into a good team. In my opinion, this is an SBC. If you've got a Ligue team, if you've got a Brazilian team, or there's a way that you can fit him into your squad, in my opinion, you 100% do this SBC. I think he's a very, very good, solid defensive card, and I think he's going to be good for quite a while in FIFA, certainly to around Team of the Year. I think this card would easily slot into anyone's first 11. I think he's a very, very solid card. It's a shame that I can't fit him myself into my starting 11, but on the whole, big card, massive fan of him. But anyway, guys, that is going to finish this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.